Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916 getting down with another Prison Talk. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the channel. We need you guys to continue supporting the channel because a lot of you guys watch but you don't hit the subscribe, so we can keep bringing you the dope content and representing with the cool guest. So hope you had a happy holiday and you're safe for New Year's coming up. But I want to share a crazy story with you guys because there are some really entitled, ungrateful young people out there. And this is a sad situation, man. Two brothers arrested after sister killed on Christmas Eve in Florida. So this happened December 26, 2023, Largo, Florida. Two teens are in custody after a shooting resulted in the death of their sister on Christmas Eve, the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office said. And it all started as an argument over Christmas presents before the teens pulled out guns, Sheriff Bob Gualtieri said. The 14-year-old was not happy with the amount of presents his 15-year-old brother was getting from their mom. The argument continued to Grandma's house where the sister's kids were going to stay while she went to work. Once at home, the 14-year-old reportedly pulled out a gun and pointed it at his brother, threatening to shoot him in the head. Gualtieri said an uncle at the home separated the teens and took the 14-year-old outside. Also outside was their sister, 23-year-old Abriella Baldwin, holding her 11-month-old baby in a carrier. At some point, the sister told the teens to essentially chill out, according to Gualtieri. Instead of doing that, the 14-year-old shot her in the chest, tearing up her insides, the sheriff said. Her baby was not hurt because the child was in the carrier. Right after the 14-year-old shot Abriella, sending her crumpling to the ground, the 15-year-old also pulled out a gun and shot his brother in the stomach. Abriella was rushed to the hospital where she died. The 14-year-old was taken for treatment at the hospital and survived. He remains in the hospital as he recovers but is in custody, the sheriff's office said. After the shooting, the 50-year-old ran away, discarding the gun and going to a relative's house in Clearwater. He was later arrested and taken to a juvenile detention center. Gualtieri said both teens were known to carry guns at all times due to recent crimes in the Ridgecrest area. The 14-year-old was charged with first-degree murder, child abuse, and delinquent in possession of a firearm. The 15-year-old was charged with attempted first-degree murder and tampering with physical evidence. The investigation is ongoing. Oh, man. Man, the tragedy in that family, man. Two young men going to jail, possibly for life, capital murder, if they're tried as adults. A sister dead, a young baby without a mother, and all for what? Ungrateful, unappreciated, material. These young people, man. I don't know these kids. I feel for the family. Christmas Eve, man, it's just sad. But, you run around carrying guns, you think, this is a thing to do. You're a gangster, It makes you a man. I don't know what goes through a lot of young men's heads these days. I know when I was a young man and got caught up in certain situations, I thought that, acquiring a gun would be a way to define myself to a degree as a man that stood by something, a young man, which I didn't know shit. And I realized, fast forward, 36 years later, I'm fortunate that I never actually used a gun on anybody or put myself to where I was tried as a juvenile, but I did go to juvenile hall, did go to CYA, and eventually federal pen. So it still took me a long time to learn my lesson. But, I try to put these videos out, man, so you guys can maybe see something before and reflect before you do, or think before you do. Because you can't reflect because you haven't done it, but maybe you'll think before you do something and wisen up to your actions, man. I had somebody earlier, some idiot messaging me on BigHerc916.com and, oh, you're a coon, you're a sellout. I can't believe you went on Jesse Waters. Oh, you're a conservative, you're a sellout. And I'm like, dude, do you even know what a conservative is? Do you know what it means to have responsibility, to take pride? Have you ever listened to Thomas Sowell? You ever read any of his books? Oh, you're really a sellout. Thomas Sowell? You're talking about in the 30s and 30s and 20s and 40s, people could walk through, where he grew up in Harlem and there was no black crime. And now you're talking about these areas. Now you got 14-year-olds carrying guns and you're talking about, a sellout? No, you're a sellout. You're a sellout because you endorse black crime, that you run around like it's normal. And then you try to blame white supremacy. You're a sellout. Anybody who supports behavior without accountability, you're a sellout. You keep trying to blame somebody else, man. I don't know when you're going to say, hey, man, we going to have to clean up our own shit. Everybody else cleans up their own shit. You got to clean up your own shit, man. Quit trying to point the finger and act like you have no willpower, that you have no ability to control your actions. I don't care what you call me, man. I know what's real and the truth, and I'm going to speak my mind, and I'm not going to sit here and try to make excuses for my actions and blame, fatherless household, this and that. Look, man, at a certain point, you know good from bad, and you have to start making choices and not blame other people for your lack of, and parents got to step up. But young men, you got to also quit acting like little bitches, and as soon as something don't go your way, you want to pull a gun out. That's a bitch-made move, man. That's a bitch move. You can't keep blaming everybody else because, something didn't go your way, so you want to shoot it out. You end up right up in the penitentiary, locked away for decades. Old man talking about, why'd I do it? They got to change the laws because I was up in here and I did some stupid ass shit. I should have listened to Big Herc on Fresh Out. I should have listened to all the prison talks. Hey, man, happy holidays. Do the right thing. Tragedy in his family. 2 people shot. Baby without a bomb now. Family lost life. Funeral. 2 going to jail. Sad, man. All over some gifts. And these young men who obviously had a female reactional tendencies threw their life away. Big Herc 916, Fresh Out.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.
Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said, wash that ass.
pick you up a t-shirt at freshoutseries.com. I'm Big Herc, and I have over a decade of experience in the prison system. Yeah, I've done a lot of time, made a lot of stupid mistakes, but that's why I'm here with you today, educating you on the Mastermind program by Fresh Out. See, they don't give you a manual when you go to jail on how to survive. They don't tell you how to go take a shower, where to sit at when you go to chow, what to do when you have mail call, how to handle your commissary. See, we cover that and a multitude of other topics that are very important, because if you do the wrong thing, you can get your damn wig split. We have over 100 million views as of date on our YouTube channel, but we've put and condensed all this knowledge into this Mastermind program so that you can provide your client with a winning chance. Do yourself a favor and your client a favor and sign them up for our program, so they don't have to get their wig split and they can make it out alive.